Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everything, I don't know. Wait, are we back? Yes, I done the same as I done yesterday. If anybody listened to last night's episode, I'm so sorry. There was a bit where it was very quiet because somehow I managed to turn my mic down. Listen, I'm testing a new mic this week because it's going to be easier for when I'm not recording at home to just take one mic rather than my full podcast kit, if it's just me recording, obviously. So yes, how are we all? Have you all noticed there has been a few episodes in the last few days? I felt bad that I've missed quite a few episodes, so we played catch up while I had some energy in me. So we put one out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which were the catch-up episodes. They just kind of went out as and when they were recorded, edited, that's easy for you to say, and uploaded straight away. So whatever time they went out, and that was that. We're now back to normal. Don't know if there's any kind of normality in my life, but we're back to Wednesday, 7 p.m, one episode every week until such times there isn't. If you listened to last night's episode, which would have been Tuesday, you will have heard why there has been a few episodes missing or skipped, however you want to say it. So if you want to find out all the details, if you're a wee nosy parker, or you just want to know, or you just like to be in the know, then go and listen to season 3 episode 12 and you'll get all the not so juicy gossip. Nothing exciting. It's just me, just my story, I suppose, if you want to put it like that. Today I was just talking to one of my friends who's got a wee bambino, and she was, why does everybody always pick their timing to phone when you're busy? So yeah, as I was saying, I was on the phone to my friend and she's got a wee tiny baby. I say a tiny baby, she's going to be 6 months in the next few days. But our wee blabbering, chatting, giggling, everything in the background is so cute. Babies. That stage doesn't last long. Can I just say, if any of you are in that baby bubble or thinking about having babies, it doesn't last long. The minute they're on their feet, they are terrors. Hide all the ornaments, hide all the pictures, move your fridge magnets. If you know, you know. That's maybe a story I'll tell you another day. Yes, today we are chatting about living for the moment, living in the moment, living for today. Anybody that knows me personally and knows about my tattoos, I've got a tattoo that says live for today, dream for tomorrow, which I think a lot is could kind of live by that motto. I'm not saying I live by it all the time. I'm definitely a daydreamer. I always have been since the day I was birthed. But we try. And all we can do is try. So part of the reason we're kind of going to talk about this today is because in the last few years I have sadly lost quite a few friends, family members. I've got friends that have lost friends and family members, and you just always hear about somebody passing too young, too early, too young. Not that any age is a good age. You do sometimes hear the older generation saying, oh, I'm tired now or whatever, but we can all feel tired. We don't want anybody to pass, but unfortunately that's life, isn't it? But it's about how can you make the most out of your life? How can you enjoy it? And not always have to cost money. What can you do to enjoy life? Well, one, surround yourself by the right people. Surround yourself by the people that you want to enjoy life with, that you enjoy their company, they enjoy yours, they make you laugh, they make you smile, and you do so them. Sit and write down a list of things that you might want to do in your life and throughout your life. Now, obviously, I'm talking as an adult, and that's the kind of things that I'm sitting thinking about now, because I mean, I am at an age where I'm halfway there. Me halfway south of the bar. That's the song I was thinking about. So you don't know. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you never know anyway. From the day you're born, there's only one certainty in life, and that's your life has an expiration date. Which isn't anything any of us want to think about. But we also see so much about things like childhood cancer. Childhood cancer absolutely breaks my heart. I sob, and I'm sorry, but I am a crier. I am a crier when it comes to a story. I'm not going to cry today, don't worry. You won't hear me with my quivering lip. I'll be a big girl, I'll be a big brave girl today. But that's not me making a joke yet. Childhood cancer has got to be one of the most horrendous things. I'm not saying it is the most, I'm saying one of, because obviously there's a lot of childhood illnesses, ailments that are life-threatening, that I maybe don't even know about. I've maybe not heard of them or learned of them or whatever yet. But obviously childhood cancer is a big thing. But we all know about cancer. We all know about cancer in adults. We do see about cancer in children. And watching your child having to go through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, various different operations, losing their hair, just lying, sleeping all the time, no energy, they just don't have their colour about them, they've not got their smile about them, they don't want to play, they don't want to do anything, they're constantly being sick because of different medications, they're not allowed to see their friends because it's a concern for them to catch any kind of bug, and not all of them come out the other end, which is absolutely heartbreaking. And I've watched from afar on social media. Obviously there's been some publicity around some families because they maybe have a bigger social media presence than others, so we do see a bit of a background in it, and my heart goes out to all the children and the families, especially the parents and the siblings, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, because yous are the closest to that child, and yous are the ones that are watching this every single day, and you're seeing how this horrendous illness is sucking the life out of your child. And I don't mean that as in you can see the child is going to pass away. I just mean that even going through their therapy, going through their chemotherapy, radiotherapy, even the children that do come out the other end. But then you've also got the ones that do come out the other end, they've got that worry that it might come back, because it is a possibility it'll come back with anybody that has cancer and goes into remission. There's always a possibility that it can come back. So that's why I'm saying these children have no quality of life while they're going through that. And if they come out the other end, I don't know how good their quality of life might be. I suppose it will depend how much their body has been impacted. But I guess you try and make it the best life possible for them. I do have a friend, that a girl that I worked with, her brother, now was he 16, just turned 16 or just turned 18, can't remember, and he found out by chance that he had cancer, and it was he must have been 16 because I'm sure it was still classed as childhood cancer. He had been playing football, I don't know if it was within a football team or with his friends, had a bad tackle, went to hospital, and he had sarcoma. I can't remember the full name of it, but it's like cancer in the bone. And there was a point where they thought he was going to have a leg amputation, which was something they fought to try and avoid, and luckily they have so far. I mean, that was quite a few years ago, the boy's in his 20s now, but so far he still has. But that's not to say that later in life that decision might need to be reversed, and he may. I don't know, I don't really know much about it. You've got adult cancers, you've got diabetes, can be quite life threatening as well, you've got kidney failure, you've got lung disease. There's so many different things that can stop you from living your life. So see, while you do have a good or at least a decent quality of life, try and live it. Try and enjoy the things that you enjoy. Everybody's thing to enjoy will be something different. Like, some people will enjoy just sitting playing computer games or going to the movies or going shopping or going out for meals. Other people, it'll be jumping out an aeroplane or doing a bungee jump or travelling the world. And whatever your thing is, that's your thing. If you're enjoying it, that's all anybody can ask for, is that you're putting a smile on your face by doing exactly what you want to do. I said recently to Danielle, one of my best friends, is that I am going to get passports renewed for me and the three boys. Did I get an extra son? I hope not, because somebody will be asking me for maintenance, and maintenance is a touchy subject for me today, or this week, or this lifetime. Take from that as you will. I say nothing yet. I'll wait till I've got back up to come and talk about it with me. So yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I'm not being bad. I'm very angry this week. So yeah, I was saying to Danielle that I'm going to renew mine and the two boys' passports. The reason I said three is obviously because there's three of us, and yeah, my brain, listen, I have a blonde brain, don't worry about it. So that if I can find cheap deals now and again, see if it's like an overnight, a 24 hours in a country that we've never been to, or a long weekend, or if we can get a week somewhere here, and like if we're all off work and college. Obviously I can take my work anywhere in the world, so I don't necessarily have to be off work, but my sons need to be off work in college. Then we can just hop on a ferry, hop on a plane, hop on whatever, jump in the car and see where the world takes us. That's my plan for the next 12 months. Whether it works that way or not is another story, because if you listen to last night's episode, we have a few hospital appointments coming up. So yes, that's my plan just now. My other plan is, did I tell you yesterday? I don't know if I did tell you. I keep getting into trouble off of people because I'm going to buy a Christmas tree this week. Now, I know some of you will be sitting there rolling your eyes or saying it's only September, but it's not August. That was my answer to my son the other day. So I said to my oldest son, do you know what? I think I'm going to go and buy a Christmas tree next week. And he was like, Mum, it's August. I went, but it'll be September. And he said to me, but Mum, it's still September. There's 3 months to Christmas. And I said, but so? What you tell me for? I said, but my response was, but the shops are selling Christmas chocolates and things like that, so it's time. Now, I've been wanting to buy a new Christmas tree for the last 2 or 3 years, and I always leave it to the very last minute. Then when I go to buy one, like round about the end of November, start of December, they've never got the one I want. So if I go this week, I get first dibs. I get first pick. So I'll get the tree I want, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, I've got a Christmas tree. Na. So then I thought, do you know what? I could make this work in my manifestation favour. So I'm thinking, because we know that I manifested a new car, but it never quite happened the way, I know I've went off topic, right? I'll go back to the topic in a minute. It never quite happened the way that I maybe thought it was going to happen, i.e. in a good way, like winning the lottery or something like that. So my plan is, buy a Christmas tree this week. By the end of next week, have the Christmas tree up and decorated. Hear me out. Stop rolling your eyes. Stop tutting. Stop judging. We listen and we don't judge. And then I might find a house because I need to take all that Christmas tree back down again and re-put it back up in the new house. Who gets my logic? My pal didn't agree with me buying a Christmas tree until I told her my logic, and then she was on board. So, I think if you could all help by praying or dreaming, imagine all the people that I'm in a new house with my new Christmas tree, all decorated, sitting there happy as a pig in shite. Then thank you kindly for helping me get my new house. So excited. And my new Christmas tree. But I've seen one and I absolutely love it. And it's artificial, because we're not doing the whole pines falling off trees and all that and hoovering up every 30 seconds. We had real Christmas trees growing up, and they're a pain in the jackass. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's green this time, back to green, but it's a nice green. It's not too dark, it's not too light, but it's also got a snowy effect, and it all lights up, and it's very romantic. Maybe I could get a boyfriend as well. What do you think? I could say to somebody in the shop, excuse me, could you carry that tree for me because it's too heavy? I swear to God, if anybody's ever get an insight into my brain, you'd be like, what the? So that's how my brain works. Welcome to Aileen's world. The place where nobody wants to go. I'm sorry, I'm feeling hilarity. I don't know what happened. Santa came. He didn't. Wish he did. Oh, right, stop it. Stop your nonsense, people. Stop encouraging me. So, let's go back to living for the moment. So, I'm living for the moment in the sense that I'm going to buy a Christmas tree. That's my moment right now. Well, not right now, I'm skint. But I'll be fine tomorrow. I'll feel rich tomorrow. My bank account will be updated. Should have been updated a few days ago by somebody else, but they didn't update it. I'm going to start throwing people under the bus on one of my podcasts. I think I'll do it on Gossip with Friends though. I don't think I can do it on here. I think this is a safe haven. We'll do it on the other one. So if you follow Gossip with Friends, you'll get all the juicy gossip from my life. And then you get the sensible. I mean, I say you get sensible really in the last 9 minutes at least. I really wasn't sensible, but my washing machine's just finished. The really not sensible Aileen, the ditzy Aileen, is on Gossip with Friends. The semi-serious Aileen and serious Aileen is on here and on Reboot Your Business, which I still need to bring that back, but after what you would have heard for last night, you'll understand why it's not been here. So, going back to living for the moment, living in the moment, living for today, living for tomorrow, dreaming for today, dreaming for tomorrow, dreaming, live life, love, laugh, live, just enjoy people's company, enjoy good food. And by the way, I don't mean good food as in expensive food. I mean food that you enjoy. If you enjoy chicken nuggets, you bloody eat your heart out in chicken nuggets. Just don't do it to the point where you might have a heart attack. Don't deep fry them. Put them in the oven or the air fryer, and that'll be a healthier way to eat them. If you like pizza, go and eat a pizza. Just don't eat too many pizza crunch. If you don't know what a pizza crunch is, because I think that's only a Scottish thing, in the chip shop, they'll get pizza, whether it be a half a pizza, a full pizza, a quarter of a pizza, whatever part of the pizza you want. They will then dip it in batter, a lot of batter, and then they'll deep fry it. And that's where the crunch comes into the pizza, is the batter. I'm sorry for the delicacies that you get in Scotland. Some of them are outrageous. And they seem to all involve batter. I just don't know. I've never had a battered Mars bar. I've had a pizza crunch a long time ago. Wouldn't necessarily recommend. It's very greasy. Never had a battered Mars bar or any kind of battered chocolate. I feel that if you were to bite into one of them, you would burn the mouth off you, because there's nowhere for the hot air to go when it's inside. So anyway, let's go back to we're going off topic again. That was whose fault was that? Who started talking about chocolate? Yeah, so enjoy if you enjoy. Listen, if you enjoy milkshakes, don't eat a milkshake, drink a milkshake. If you enjoy going cycling, go cycling. Cycle to your heart's content. Again, don't do it too much, because we've heard about people who are over healthy. I know that might sound like it's not a thing, but it potentially is a thing, because you get people that are very healthy but they still don't have the healthiest of heart, because they take a heart attack, and unfortunately, sadly, they're not here anymore. My dad, now how many years ago? I think it's 3 years now. I think it was 3 years gone in March. My dad had a triple, I think it was maybe a triple, but ended up a double heart bypass, which was very sudden. We didn't expect that. But do you know, about 10 years before that, my dad was in work and they had to phone an ambulance for him because they thought he was having a heart attack. Got blue lighted into the hospital to find out that he just drank too much coffee. So the moral of that story is, don't drink too much coffee at the one time. I think my dad had more than 5 cups in the morning. I can't remember. Something's telling me it was either 6 or 9, but I don't know. So don't drink too much coffee. Maybe try some decaf. Try with hot chocolate now and again. What else? Yeah, who has jumped out an aeroplane? Because I quite fancy that. Bungee jumping, not so much. Jumping out an aeroplane, I could do it. Especially if I'm strapped to something. Aye. It's something I've always wanted to do for charity, but just never really got round to it. When I did want to do it, and I was trying to sign myself up for it many moons ago, now you're talking about 16, 17 years ago maybe, I had looked into it, but I couldn't do it because my mental health was so bad at the time. It wasn't so bad at the time, but they would have classed it as being bad at the time. I mean, technically it probably was, but I'm not saying anything. Jumping out a plane is something I'd love to do. There's a zip line. Did I speak about this? I think I did. I spoke about this on the podcast a few weeks ago. There's a zip line, and I'm sure it's in Wales. Now, I asked my dad that night or the next day, and he confirmed where it was, and I can't remember. But I'm sure it's in Wales, because I'm sure my dad said he drove to Wales, and it was his father-in-law that was doing it. For like his 80-something or 90th birthday, and I think it's like a mile long, or maybe longer than that, I don't know, but it's really high up. It's like the biggest zip line in the UK or something. I want to do that. I really, really want to do that, but we're coming into winter, and I don't want that cold air hitting my face, so I'll maybe wait till the spring or the summer. For us, I want to do something. I want to do it when it's a nice day. You know? None of us like to be cold. We're cold enough in Scotland. There's also, when you think about not just the passing of people, but you can lose people in other ways. Dementia, Alzheimer's, that sort of thing. Parkinson's, potentially. Although Parkinson's, maybe not so much that you lose the person, but they just maybe lose the ability of doing certain things over time. But definitely dementia and Alzheimer's, it's another horrible disease. I have watched one grandparent with dementia when I was young. I was only in primary school. I'm trying to think what age it started. I think it started when I was about 6 or 7, and then she passed away when I was 11, almost 12. It was about 6 months maybe before my 12th birthday. Because she passed away in the end of January, and then my birthday's August, so yeah. It's not nice. It's not nice at any age, but it can be quite scary for a child, because she used to always call me one of my dad's cousins' names. That's who she thought I was. I must have resembled her for when she was that age, or it was just because we both had blonde hair and she'd just seen a child with blonde hair and she thought I was my dad's cousin. So she kept calling me Susan. And I kept saying to my dad, why is she calling me Susan? My name's not Susan. And every time my dad had to explain to me, she's just confused, she doesn't know who you are. But also, she used to like, she would, if she had money, she would hide it under the carpet, or she would have handkerchiefs in her pocket, her cardigan pocket, and then her money would get wrapped up in her handkerchiefs, and then she would throw it all in the bin, so she would bin in money. Now this woman never had a load of money to be thrown away. I can't remember how they found that out, whether maybe somebody just seen it one day in the bin, or I don't know what happened, but anyway. But I used to love going to her house because, for any, if you don't know, that was my great gran, so that was my dad's gran, and she actually brought my dad up. So we were really, really close to her. We were also close to my gran, who was my dad's mum, but we went to go and see her all the time. And she would give us, like, does anybody remember when a fruit and veg van used to go round the doors? Obviously we all know about the ice cream van, but did you used to get a fruit and veg van? So a fruit and veg van would go round, and this is one of my best childhood memories, and it just goes to show that you don't have to be doing anything extravagant with a child, because this is one of my childhood memories that I talk about all the time. And I would go to the fruit and veg van and get this big massive bag of grapes. So do you know how like the brown paper bag you would get in a fruit and veg shop, and that was crammed with grapes? That only cost 20 pence. Can you believe it? You wouldn't even get that for £2 these days. But yeah, that, and then she had this biscuit tin. And maybe I'll upload a picture of the biscuit tin actually. She had a biscuit tin, and you always knew what was going to be in it. It was always like the pink waver ones, or custard creams, your tunnocks, all these different things, like your party rings and all that. We had all the favourites were in that blue ribbon. All the favourites were in there, although I don't like blue ribbon so much anymore. I'm sorry if you're the blue ribbon person that makes them. There's no hate towards you, I just don't like your biscuit. But yeah, she very much the matriarch of the family. She sat in this one chair, and then she had her coffee table at the side of her, and then there was a 2-seater couch at the side of that, and her telly was right in front of her. So she sat up on her throne, and the biscuit tin came out, and then there was a wee tray, and she would lay the biscuits on the tray. And you know, when my uncle passed, so my dad's uncle, because he was in the Merchant Navy, so he lived in my great grand's house after she passed. He also lived with her when he wasn't at sea, because he never married or anything. But when he passed away, I asked if I could get that biscuit tin, just because it was such a huge memory from my childhood. And it's nothing spectacular. There's nothing amazing about this biscuit tin, but it just has so many memories. Because we would go over every Sunday, we would go over during the week. It doesn't matter when you went over, that biscuit tin was filled. And then you had girders. No, it wasn't girders. Who was it? It wasn't the bars. Who was it? I can't remember. But anyway, I need to find out. Stay there. Had to Google it. Alpine. So they would deliver your bottles of ginger juice, fizzy pop, whatever you want to call it, to the house. You obviously order it. So she always had her orangeade, a limeade, sometimes she had cream soda, Coke, all these different things. And you always knew the cupboard under our stairs is where you would go and get the wee secret stash of ginger, and you would get a glass of ginger and a biscuit. So yeah, these are all things that, see, when you're no longer here, like my gran's no longer here, my great gran's no longer here, These are the things you remember, and you remember them fondly, you remember them with a smile on your face. So see everything that you're doing in life that makes you happy or makes the person that you're with happy, even if it's not something extravagant, they're going to remember that forever. They're always going to have that memory. Like, they had a clock, and it was like in a dome, and I used to love, it was one that you would wind up, and I got that as well. Unfortunately, it fell off a shelf, smashed. Dad's not listening because I've not told him that yet. Maybe I'll cut that bit. Sorry. Wasn't my fault. It just somehow fell off the shelf and smashed. But I got that when he passed as well, because that was another fond memory of mine, because I used to love watching him, like, winding it up and setting the time and everything for it. But also, like, even just going to her house, I would remember, like, she was always either watching the darts or the snooker, maybe golf. But darts and snooker definitely were her two things. She loved her sports. You never really seen her watching anything else. My uncle was always up. If he was at home, he was always up in his room. He was like, he liked reading his books and whatever, and he would come back down and sit with you. Yeah, there's different things. But then I also remember 2011, I took my gran away on her first, not her first holiday, but her first holiday with me and my boys. It was the only time we'd ever had a holiday together, and I took her to Butlins, and she absolutely loved it. I mean, at one point, I was like saying to my pals, does anybody want to rescue me? Because, oh, she was too excited, if that makes sense. God love her. She was a bit of a child, but it was at heart. But no, she loved it, and she always spoke about how much she loved going that holiday with me and my boys. And it wasn't an extravagant holiday, and it was a last minute thing we got cheap, but she loved it. I took her down to visit my dad. There's different things, and none of these things, apart from obviously like paying petrol and whatever else, most things that we do in life we'll always remember, but we don't realise we're going to remember it until that person maybe isn't here anymore, or that somebody will remember something you've done with them when you're not here anymore. And it'll be daft wee things. Even like phone calls, if you've got a phone call and you have maybe got a saying that you say to each other when you start the call or after the call, or something you're always talking about. Like, my friends will really miss me moaning about men. I don't really moan about men that much. I just don't tolerate. Hence why I'm single. But the whole dementia, going back to the dementia and Alzheimer's thing, like, yeah, that person in that moment might forget who you are, but in half an hour they're going to remember you again. Like, my great gran would call me Susan for a whole day, but I'd go and see her the next day and she'd be like, oh, hi Aileen, you're looking lovely, or whatever she would say. I remember one time, but she scared me, because no, scared me in a bad way. I think I was 10, and my dad's other cousin and his wife had just had a baby, and I was holding the baby, and she was obviously just making sure the baby was okay and whatever. And she was, I don't know, very maybe old fashioned, because she was. I mean, she was born in 1903, so you're in the 80s at this point. Was she born? Yeah, she was born 1903. Yeah, so she what do you call it? She was giving me into trouble about holding the baby right. I mean, I was holding them right, but she was just worried. So I was a bit scared that time. I thought, I don't want to go to her house again, but obviously I did. You just don't like getting into trouble, do you, when you're a child? But then I've got aunties that I would go and stay with during the summer, and there's family member that I see now, or family member that I don't see, and that's fine. There's reasons why you don't see people overseeing other people. Like my dad, he's in a new era just now where he's fostering puppies for the guide dogs. He's not training them, he's house training them and socialising them, but he's not actually doing the guide dog training because he's not trained to do that. So that's something that's another memory for him. Maybe not so much for us. We will remember it, but not as much as if he lived closer where we could go and see and experience it. And then as a parent, you've got memories of what your children do as they grow. So them going to school, going to nursery, starting secondary school, leaving secondary school, starting college or university, or maybe starting their first job, if they pass their driving test, or in my son's case it was a motorbike test and then a driving test, then you maybe see them growing on to be parents, partners, husbands, wives. Like, all these different things are always going to be a memory to cherish. So yes, the moral of today's story is, we don't know what ailments we might get in the future, we might be diagnosed with in the future, and how they might affect us. So enjoy life at the minute, enjoy life today, make plans for tomorrow, and just dream and live out your dreams. Have ambition, and your ambition doesn't need to be, I want to be the next CEO of the next social media platform and I need to have that done in a week's time. Like, your ambition could be, I want to go to a country that's the other side of the world and it's going to cost a lot of money, so I need to save hard, I need to work hard, blah blah blah. But it's that an ambition for you. It can be anything. It can be, your ambition could be to become a parent, it could be to become a teacher. See, whatever it is, go do it, live it, love it, enjoy the ride. Over and out. That's my lecture. It wasn't really a lecture, I'm just trying to say, like, there's so much heartbreak in the world and heartache in the world, that why not try and create some happiness and good memories. Enjoy the moment, enjoy everybody in your life that you want to enjoy life with. And if there's people that are round about that you feel as if they're causing you nothing but stress, either have a chat with them or have a chat with yourself and see where your head goes to with that person. If it can be rectified, rectify it. If it can't be rectified, then only you can make that decision. Nobody else can make the decision for you. If you're in a toxic relationship with husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, could be a family member, could be a friend, it needs to be addressed. Whether you address it with the person, or if you think it's too toxic, you can't address it with them, there's your answer. You need to get out of that situation. If you're too scared to address something, you need to leave the situation. And there's different ways to do it. And if you don't know how to do it in a delicate way or in the way that's going to work for you, reach out to somebody, whether it be Women's Aid, a men's charity, myself, your GP, your social work, whoever. Reach out to somebody, and there's always a person that's going to be there to help. Anyway, what's on the agenda? I hear you say. I don't know what's on the agenda. I've got a list here, up and coming. Wait, I've got about 5 different lists. I've got lists written in all different notebooks, and then I've got lists written in my phone. So I don't have any of the notebooks with me at the minute because they're all over the place. So some of the upcoming episodes, if anybody wants to get involved in any of them, are about protecting your peace, housing crisis, prisoner support, ADHD, autism, and any other neurological ailment, disease. They're not diseases, you know what I mean. LGBTQ plus, but obviously I'm not in amongst that, so I'm not in there because I'm a heterosexual female. So if anybody is LGBTQ, sorry, my teeth and my tongue don't go, plus if you are part and parcel, and you would like to come and say your piece, write in. And also elderly in their needs, so that it will include the whole Alzheimer's, etc. But there's obviously a lot of other things that come with that, because it's not just Alzheimer's that can affect whether an elderly person can live on their own. There's many other things. So yeah, that's just a few things that are coming up. There's like 500 million others, but we'll get to them eventually. So I'm finally back to weekly, every Sunday. I was going to say every Wednesday. I need to get a couple of business ones out. I'm going to try and record business ones over the coming days, and see where I can get that. So I will update when they're out for anybody that is interested. Gossip with Friends, I think's coming back. Danielle and our kids are constantly not well now, and I didn't want to do it on my own because obviously it's Gossip with Friends and it was meant to be about the two of us, but we've been talking the last couple of weeks about how and when we're going to bring that back. And I think, yeah, I'm hoping to go down. My dad got his first puppy to foster on Tuesday. What day is this? Wednesday, so yesterday. And I think she's going to be full of mischief, so I'm looking forward to go down to see her. But now that I've got a few hospital appointments coming up, I don't know when we're going to go, because I was going to go not this weekend but maybe the following weekend if I was allowed, because I don't know when he's allowed somebody to stay overnight. Yeah, I mean, we could drive down and come back up the same day, but I've got a hospital appointment that weekend now, so that's out. Following weekend, I think my oldest is working, and then the following weekend again, I think I've got another hospital appointment, so I don't know when I'm going to get down, unless we go this weekend, but I don't think we'd be allowed in that soon. I don't know, I need to speak to my dad. But anyway, what else? So I want to go and see the wee puppy, get puppy cuddles. Ainsley, my friend who you've heard on here before, she's got a wee puppy, and he's another one that's full of mischief. He's funny. He just runs about, and she's got her brother-in-law's dog just now, because her brother-in-law sadly passed away a few months ago, so she's got his dog as well. Nell's a good bit older, and she's just like a wee old lady. She just wants to lie there and chill, and this wee thing's running up and attacking her, and she's like, leave me, small child, go away. So yeah, she's got her hands full as well. We're now in the college era. Also starting some new courses to bring some new stuff into the business. What else? And I'm doing some, as you've heard, I'm going to start my Christmas retail therapy. I mean, it's not much therapy because you're spending all your money. This is a thing, right? How can you call it retail therapy? I get it makes some people feel better, but see, by the time you go home and you check your bank account, surely it makes you go, that bank account isn't very therapeutic. Yeah. We live and we learn, but we don't learn, do we? Because we're living in the moment and we're enjoying it, and you can't take the money with you. So if you go and do some retail therapy, what's your one thing you always buy? I don't know if I've really got a one thing that I always buy. Probably a handbag that ends up sitting in the corner because I've got too many. Or makeup. I like makeup, I like perfume, I like bags. But that's probably my thing. I've done enough retail therapy this month, thanks kindly, even though it was last month. I bought a car that's going to skin me alive. Yeah, I won't be buying myself much over the next few months because I'll be concentrating on Christmas. So we're doing Christmas trees. I'm trying to think if I've got any birthdays before. Oh, I have. My son's. That's terrible, isn't it? But listen, Linda. Don't judge. It's because his birthday's 4 days before Christmas. It's not that we forget, it's just that I wasn't thinking about December, I was thinking about September, October, November. I hope he doesn't listen to this. So he's probably listening to me recording and laughing. I can hear him laughing, so he might be listening. We tend to watch all the new Wednesday's out tonight on Netflix. Anybody watching it? So the next 4 episodes are out tonight. I've got Stranger Things coming up as well in November, I think. Something else is coming out tonight. And then tomorrow, does anybody watch NCIS? So tomorrow there's the Tony and Siva thing on Paramount starting. Then there's something else tomorrow. I don't really watch much telly, but if there's something that I'm interested in, I'll watch it. But Stranger Things, I've been waiting 25 years for the last series of that to come out, so can you hurry it up? Say if I get to November or December or whenever it's meant to be and they turn around and say it's not ready yet, I'll be fuming, absolutely fuming. But we've said we need to go back and watch them all again before, because it has been that long. Because when did the last ones come out? Was it 3 years ago? something like that, 4 years ago, 25 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, because it's been that long. They started as kids, they're all now adults, having babies, getting married, getting divorced probably, I don't know. But none of them are the children that they're meant to be portraying in the actual programme. Kicking about with wedding rings on. I mean, they're about 25 years younger than me, and they've got married before me. I know I said I don't want to get married, but that's not the point to this story, right? Just leave me be. So we're now going to go into our hibernation era, aren't we? We'll get September over with. Then October we start to hibernate. September's like we get into nice autumn. It's not too cold. It's probably too wet, but hey ho, we don't always need a hood or an umbrella, but we can wear a nice cosy jumper, a nice jacket, go out, enjoy ourselves. October, game's a bogey, it's raining, we're not doing it. I'll see you in April. That's the way I think when we get to October. Do you? Unless I win the lottery. And I'll just go to another country and you'll see me constantly, because I'll be like, look at me on the beach. I don't think I could do Christmas on the beach. My dad done that one year. I don't know that he actually done it on the beach, but he was in Australia last year, I think it was. It was either last year or the year before. He was in Australia for Christmas and he said it was weird. I would say so. But right, I was sitting thinking last night, now I know there is people in Australia that listen, so can you please let me know, have you ever, has Australia ever had snow? Because Australia's so warm, and I know you say it's cold in your winter, but your winter's our summer. The temperature you get in the winter is the equivalent to the temperature we get in the summer. Height of summer, can I just say. But have you ever had snow in Australia? Let me know. I would be interested in finding out. I mean, obviously I know there is warmer countries in the world that do also get snow. Like, Danielle lives in Turkey, but there's only certain parts of Turkey that get snow. She doesn't get it where she is. She's in Marmaris. But I think is it Izmir? I don't know. There's somewhere she told me that they get snow. Because she stopped on her way to somewhere else. She was driving somewhere on holiday last winter, and somewhere that they drove through had snow, so they stopped for the kids to play in the snow. So yeah, it's almost hibernation time for me. Hot chocolate, marshmallows and cream, and then by the time April comes you realise you've put on 4 stone just drinking hot chocolate. It's quite upsetting, isn't it? Because like you get bears and all that hibernate. I bet they lose weight because they just sleep. Is it bears? Do they still hibernate? Because you know how all these different things evolve through time. So I'm not getting into the whole global warming thing because that's way over my attention span and my brain cells. That's Greta's thing. That's not mine. So Greta hen, come and explain it to us whether all these animals still hibernate, whether you get snow in Australia, and just why. I mean, I don't really want to know why because I wouldn't understand it anyway. So anyway, I'm going to go there now because I'm rabbiting on a lot of live for today, dream for tomorrow. Remember, create memories, enjoy every moment that you can, get rid of any toxicity, have conversations you need to have, make sure you're going for checkups when you notice any signs of anything that may become something, because obviously the sooner you catch anything, the more chance you've got of a better outcome at the other end. If you would like to book in for counselling, life coaching, wellness coaching, business coaching, we can do that in person if you live within Glasgow or surrounding areas, through to Edinburgh, Perth and sometimes further afield. Or if you live somewhere else in the world or the country, we can do it over Zoom, any other video call or phone call. Also, if you live within Glasgow or surrounding areas, we have hoppy air candling, Indian head massage, hot stone massage therapy, cupping therapy, manual lymphatic drainage, and there will be more options throughout the year. we have appointments for that as well. No long waiting times for anything. Thursday, Friday at the minute are only for any appointments that are to do with Zoom calls, video calls, phone calls. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, you can do video call, phone call, in person. And I think that's it with that. So you can find out more details at therebootsanctuary.com or email therebootsanctuary@gmail.com. If you want to talk about anything to do with the podcast, whether you want to be a guest, you want me to tell your story, if you've got an idea for an episode, or if you would like to sponsor or advertise on the podcast, then you can email rebootyourthoughtspodcast@gmail.com, or you can get us on any of the socials, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We do have X, don't use it very much, but the message will come through, and we also have Patreon. But for now, I am going to go, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care, and bye bye.